What if a modern honey badger was magnified 10 times, dropped into the late Cretaceous period, and forced to raise a baby Tyrannosaurus rex? Could this ultimate cross-species syndicate conquer the savage prehistoric continent? Your first challenge upon arrival is extreme starvation. A torrential rainstorm, heavy with the scent of sulfur from 66 million years ago, violently beats against your coarse black and white fur. The 30% oxygen concentration of the Cretaceous floods your massive lungs. Inside your colossal 30,000-pound frame, your metabolism revs like an out-of-control supercar engine. Brutal stomach acid fiercely erodes your stomach lining. With your signature fearless stride, you march into a miasma-filled prehistoric swamp. The muddy water suddenly erupts. A 5-foot-long, 200-pound Beelzebufo the devil frog launches into the air, opening a massive jaw dripping with highly corrosive mucus. You waste no movement. Capitalizing on your 15-ton mass, you lunge forward, pinning it deep into the putrid mud with your front claws. Your jaws clamp down like a heavy-duty hydraulic press. With a sickening crunch, you crush its skull instantly. This swamp is teeming with devil frogs, making it your easiest massive calorie source. The warm meat slides down your throat, rapidly converting into explosive kinetic energy. While patrolling your new territory on a full stomach, you stumble upon a crushed dinosaur nest. Amidst the shattered shells and bloody mud lies a baby T-Rex, barely the size of a modern wolf. Covered in muck, it lets out a weak, desperate hiss for food. A surge of oxytocin from your modern mammalian limbic system overrides your predatory instinct to eat it. Instead, you decide to adopt the ultimate apex predator. You turn around, casually drag over a stunned devil frog, and drop it beside the hatchling. From this day on, the brutal swamp hosts two absolute anomalies. A growing T-Rex requires immense amounts of protein. Soon, frogs aren't enough. One day, a 50-foot prehistoric python explodes from a rotting log, locking eyes with the drinking baby T-Rex. The giant serpent flicks its red tongue, eyes full of lethal intent. You plow forward like a heavy bulldozer. The giant snake relies on brute force, rapidly coiling around your torso to suffocate you. But it drastically underestimates your famously loose, inches-thick, rubbery skin. Relying purely on raw strength, you break its coils. You drop your head and bite down flawlessly on its vital neck joint. Driven by the genetic suppression mammals hold over serpents, you forcibly snap its cervical spine. This is a luxury feast for both of you. You slice open the python's belly, and the baby T-Rex eagerly dives in, gorging on the high-fat liver and soft tissues. This massive caloric intake triggers an explosive growth spurt, pushing the young tyrant past the 6-foot mark. To support the T-Rex's skyrocketing calcium needs, you lead it out of the swamp and target an Alamosaurus nesting ground on the plains. Facing adult herd defenders weighing dozens of tons, you don't fight head-on. Using your massive 15-ton frame, you create a booming distraction, furiously roaring to draw the mother's attention. Meanwhile, the agile baby T-Rex slips into the mud nests like a prehistoric phantom, swallowing volleyball-sized, nutrient-dense eggs whole. By the time you circle back, the baby has eaten more than half. You drop beside the nest and join the feast. These near-hatching eggs, rich in high-purity cholesterol and free calcium, perfectly nourish your muscle fibers. But the heavy, sweet scent of yolk attracts a pterosaur with a 33-foot wingspan. The sky predator lands, attempting to hijack your meal. Facing this airborne threat, you do something entirely unexpected. You drop into the mud and play dead. The pterosaur's primitive avian brain cannot comprehend a modern mammalian tactical deception. It folds its wings and steps closer. The microsecond it lowers its beak, you launch upward like a coiled spring, locking your jaws onto its fragile torso. Your massive weight violently drags it to the ground. Once a hollow-boned pterosaur is grounded, it is defenseless. The baby T-Rex charges from behind. Without any messy grappling, it perfectly locks onto the pterosaur's neck. Snap. The neck is broken. You chew through the dense chest muscles while the young T-Rex crushes the hollow limb bones, greedily sucking out the marrow. Leaving the nesting grounds, you declare war on the heavily armored herbivores of the Cretaceous. Your first target, a solitary adult Ankylosaurus. This 12,000-pound living tank swings a tail club capable of shattering a T-Rex's femur. Facing your fearless advance, the Ankylosaurus roars and swings its club. Boom! The heavy bone smashes into your ribs, but your incredibly loose skin acts as a massive hydraulic shock absorber, dissipating most of the impact. Fighting through the pain, you ignore the impenetrable back armor. Using your momentum, you bite down relentlessly on its vulnerable right hind leg. Crippled and restricted, the Ankylosaurus struggles. The baby T-Rex flanks from the other side. Losing its diagonal support, the armored tank collapses onto its side. The young T-Rex tears it open, and you both gorge on protein to recover from the brutal clash. As the young T-Rex surpasses 16 feet in length, your targets grow far more dangerous. At the forest edge, you encounter a bizarre herbivorous giant, the Therizinosaurus. Though a plant eater, it wields terrifying 3-foot scythe-like claws capable of disemboweling standard carnivores. You do not hesitate, nor do you attempt a foolish aerial pounce. Capitalizing on your incredibly low center of gravity, you launch a devastating ground-level charge directly into its lower limbs, instantly destroying its balance. As the towering beast crashes down with a shrieking cry, the baby T-Rex strikes from the flank. Its bone-crushing bite force erupts, cleanly snapping the Therizinosaurus's long neck. Victory breeds arrogance, right until you encounter a peak-conditioned Triceratops in the center of the sun-baked plains. This is a scarred, ill-tempered veteran. This time, you severely misjudge the absolute kinetic impact of a 20,000-pound heavy infantry unit. The Triceratops lowers its head and flawlessly impales your flesh. Your massive body is tossed aside. The flanking young T-Rex tries to bite a hind leg, but the veteran executes a violent pivot. The heavy bone frill slams into the young T-Rex's chest, sending it crashing to the dirt. Having heavily wounded you both, the herbivore lets out a disdainful snort and walks away. This is your first and most devastating defeat. Enduring agonizing pain, you and the young T-Rex retreat to a dark, damp cave. For 2 humiliating months, you become scavengers, dragging back carcasses left by other predators under the cover of darkness. The lethal bacteria in the rotting meat are converted into vital nutrients by your indestructible digestive tracts. Through cycles of infection and healing, your broken bones undergo terrifying supercompensation, growing back thicker and denser. The young T-Rex also sprouts tough, cold-gleaming defensive scales. Fully healed, you don't seek immediate revenge. You need a safe kill to awaken your dormant muscle memory. You target a muscular Pachycephalosaurus in a rocky riverbed. Famous for its iron-like skull, it instinctively charges you head-on. Thud. The terrifying kinetic energy is forcibly absorbed by your mountain-like mass. The Pachycephalosaurus experiences a split second of stun. In that decisive second, the young T-Rex blitzes forward, cleanly snapping the herbivore's neck. The hot blood confirms the absolute return of your peak combat power. The time for ultimate vengeance has arrived. Tracking the scent, you corner the veteran Triceratops in a dry riverbed. This time, there is no arrogance. Your positioning is precise. Eliminating all unnecessary grappling, you roar, launching a direct frontal charge. When the Triceratops lowers its head to impale you, you flawlessly drop your stance, slipping beneath the lethal horns. Using your 30,000-pound mass, you violently ram into its unprotected front shoulder joint. The massive herbivore completely loses its balance and agility, exposing its right flank. The young T-Rex launches a thunderous sprint from its blind spot. No messy wrestling, its terrifying 10,000-pound bite force fully erupts, clamping down directly on the Triceratops's unarmored flank. A tragic bellow echoes through the canyon as the 10-ton tank collapses, its life extinguished. The young T-Rex, the partner who fought Ankylosaurus, dropped Therizinosaurus and survived on rotting meat with you places its heavy foot on the Triceratops's skull. It throws its head back and unleashes the ultimate roar of the Cretaceous king. The feast begins. You tear open the thick hide to expose the tender belly meat, while the T-Rex joyfully rips into the massive thigh muscles. After this meal, the T-Rex will experience its final growth spurt, officially entering an adulthood that will terrify the entire prehistoric continent. Together, you are ready to conquer the savage era.